Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
Welcome to the Jedi Archives. And let's be honest, this is the only reason why any of you subscribe to our Virtual Cantina YouTube channel is because of me and Mike.
Absolutely, 100%.
And Bryce.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Obviously, I'm John. This is Mike. Unfortunately, Bryce couldn't be with us this week. Hopefully, he'll be back next week. And every other week, first and third Sunday of every month, we review Star Wars. Try and do High Republic comics. If it's not High Republic, it's something near. So, but first, let's pay our bills. All right, let me bring this up. Check out Hyperspace. This is the wrong one. Hold on.
Sponsors, thank you to our sponsors, but in particular, thank you to Hyperspace Props.
Check out Hyperspace Props for all your cosplaying and select needs. Use code BOOMTEP for 10% off your order at www.hyperspaceprops.com. Hyperspace Props is the title sponsor of Boonta Eve. What's Boonta Eve, Mike?
Boonta Eve Special Edition is going to be our this summer is just a week or two away of celebrating with all your Star Wars friends from the Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025 here in California's Disneyland and Galaxy's Edge, but also at Scum and Villainy Cantina with lots of fan favorites at different events. We're going to revisit Biggs in Anaheim. We're going to go to Scum and Villainy Cantina in Hollywood, and we're going to take a Star Wars bus ride all the way up to Northern California because somebody wasn't sure about California geography, thinking it was closer than it is, but we're going to be there. More third special edition of Scum and Villainy.
If you're interested in this, please visit the page Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025. I know that's so confusing, but on Facebook, Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025, and that's where all this stems from. Go there, poke around, ask around, and we'll get you the information you need to go.
And if you're nearby, either in Northern California or Hollywood area or Anaheim, just stop by and visit us. There's no fees to join our programs, our entertainment. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff to do, and you'll get to meet all of us.
Which is why you want to come, obviously.
Absolutely. And but now we're going to go into Star Wars: The High Republic number 7. This one is called The Hunted, Chapter 3, Balm of the Luminous. Death at the heart of the Nile space. Hope in the midst of despair. Jedi Master Keith Trennis has gathered a band of battle-weary Jedi, pirates and wanderers, but how long will they remain united as the Children of the Storm make their move? Plus, the Nile Minister of Advancement revealed Baron Boolan makes his presence known.
Boolan.
Like Moulin Rouge?
Moulin Rouge?
Yep.
So it'd be great if they had that character in one of those outfits dancing. Moulin Rouge.
So the crawl reads, Jedi Master Keith Trennis has been reunited with her former teacher, Skier. In the last episode we saw that. The troubled Trandoshan Skier. But all is not as it appears. Skier has been protecting a young Yakambi girl from the relentless Nile hunter who has been abducting children with Force abilities. So this little girl has Force abilities and he's trying to keep her safe. Now their number has grown. Oh, and we know why they want to get these Force sensitives, right? To feed the Nile. So
is that what it is? Oh, yes. Okay.
So they need, because the Nile feed on the Force, and so they need to keep finding people that are Force sensitive so they can feed the Nile and keep them alive. Their number has grown with the arrival of the mysterious Tay Sarek, a wanderer with deep connections to the Jedi of old, and an ancient Sith artifact only known as the Hand of Cyberus. All is going well as Keith and Skier introduce the Yakambi girl to the group, until the silent youngling sees the corpse of a recently killed Nameless and reacts with surprising power that can only come from the Force. That's when she has that big blast, and they're all like shocked at the end of episode 6.
Yeah. So, please go back and watch our review of episode 6. It's one of Mike's favorite issues of all time, and it really helps us. So if you don't want to know anything about Tay Sarek, go back and watch that issue. It's
absolutely my favorite episode. But if you want to learn more about Tay Sarek and the others, Maddie and Vildar Mac, read phase 1 of the High Republic comics, because we're in phase 3 now. But if you go back to phase 1 from the very beginning, you'll get their full story. There's so much information. I really enjoyed phase 1 of the High Republic. I've enjoyed all the phases, but phase 1 in particular is really good. So read those. You'll get all the background on Taster Rec, and then come to this one. It's very enjoyable. So let's look at the main cover. We're here on our favorite leagueofcomicgeeks.com, and this is the main cover of episode 7, and we see Keeve Trennis on the cover, and there's flames.
I think she's cooking.
This reminds me of you know what it is, right?
I say she's on Endor.
It's not a bonfire. Yeah, it's not. There's no bonfire.
It's a ceremony saying goodbye to.
Spoiler alert.
Mugen. Well, you told us last episode, so we all know.
I spoiled it. Monchi.
Monchi. Yeah. So.
Here's the second variant.
Oh, that's a nice color. I have 2 variants, and I don't have it. Yeah, it's Mr. Boulon Rouge.
And it is red. Boulon Rouge.
That's cool. That would be really dope as a Virgin cover. Yeah, that'd be. It's already nice, but yeah.
And then we have this Star Wars: The High Republic cover with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan from Episode 1. There's the Phantom Menace 25th anniversary cover.
This has made us so happy when this happened in real life. Just so you know, when we all saw Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan as Padawan. There's more Jedi. We were so happy.
Here we have Anakin with his Padawan, Ahsoka Tano.
And this is from the series Master Apprentice variant. They've been doing a couple of those, which is kind of cool. Last week's was my favorite, the Stellan and Renestro.
Oh, that's right. Renestro was his Padawan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That's another reason why Renestro cannot be evil, because she was Stellan's.
I know. They better not ruin her. But at this point, we should know it by now, right? I think we do know by now.
Yeah, that's right. We know by now. We know that Renestro's not evil.
Watch our after show. It's aired a few days ago.
Last week, yeah. So, yeah, just a couple of days ago. So these are the characters in this episode. We have Keeve Trennis, Skier, Taster Rec, Surette, Hatar, Lorna D, Orbalin, Reek, Surek, Bulin, Chipchaff, and Gunral Monchi, R.I.P., and the Great Leveler. All right. So, getting into the episode now, John. It starts out with the ending of episode 6, where that little girl just force pushes everyone away because she sees the dead leveler, right?
Yeah.
The nameless. So, and that does. Let me see if I can share. Can I share that one? Let me present. Stop screen. And then present. Share screen. I think it's this one. Did that work? Oh, yeah. So check it out. There she is. And you can see how powerful.
See, I didn't see what she saw. I know that the scroll said she saw it, but I didn't actually see what she saw it, but I guess it's not that important.
Well, because remember, they had killed it.
Yeah.
So it was there. It was dead. So they were facing her, and when she was facing towards them, she saw the leveler in the background. Mm-hmm. And so she just reacted. At first, I thought she was attacking them.
Well, I thought she was the. Yeah, I thought somebody approached her, just got not even attacked, just get near, and she snapped. But yeah.
Right. So then, and then Tarek is going wild. Tarek is wild.
No, it's Sarek that's going wild. Tarek is the one that's, I think, separating from Tarek. I know it's kind of hard to remember these.
Yeah, he's got the metal thing in his head. That's right. So he's like Lobot.
So
he's okay.
Tarek's guy, Tarek is still saying stuff like "we" and stuff like that. But Sarek has started using more singular things. I've noticed a few times. Even this one, he says "me." And I'm like, that's different. And so we maybe 3 episodes ago we started to see their separation because of obviously the attack by one of the levelers. That'll do it.
Yeah.
So, but
this is their second encounter with the Nameless, though. Remember,
yeah.
The first time he almost died.
I mean, throughout this issue, Sarek's just is on a hairpin. He's ready to go. He's gonna definitely flirting around with dark side stuff. So he's ready to go. So it's definitely and he's the one that flew Chim Cham, or whatever the bug's name is, the bat's name is.
Chip Chap. He just like threw him into the
Yeah.
wood, and
So,
and they're like, "What are you doing?" But now he's trying to attack the little girl, and Skeer's like, "Don't touch her," and he's protecting her because he doesn't want her to get. She's force sensitive. So now Skeer is attacking him, but because he's going off the deep end, he's like out of control. And then Keith comes in and says, "No, that's not the way," and she's using her hand to calm him down, and it looks like everything's good, right? And the little girl runs to Lorna D. Of all people, there's all these Jedi around. Who does she go to? The former Nile.
I mean, Keith actually makes a really good point on that. I hit pause real quick. Yeah, Keith was made a real point to saying how evil, I guess, in the past Lorna D has been, and yet that she says, this woman who has killed without mercy, terrified half the galaxy, and what does that say about us? What have we become? And like, the child chose her, a murderer over Jedi.
Right.
That's how uncentered the Jedi are because of these Nameless. I mean, Nameless the Jedi have pretty much been invincible almost. And these Nameless have really rocked their world. They really nothing they've ever experienced. So it's throughout this. You not only are we seeing Tarek go off the rails, you see Keeve's going off the rails. Keeve even gets jealous. She's like, I should be the one helping him. So I'm like, ooh, we're starting. This might be a little bit of the
dark side.
Dark side, and we all know because it's such
she's the first of the 20.
Mike mentions it every other week.
But you know what she also says is like they're still so self-absorbed that because of all their infighting, they even miss when Oberlin tells them Keeve. She's like, what? She goes, we're talking about this. It's like, we need to honor a dear friend. Yeah. It happened while we were quarreling. His poor heart couldn't take it. So Monchi died while they're all fighting.
He looks peaceful though.
They didn't even feel him passing in the Force. They could feel it. They're so out of tune with the Force.
Yep. Yeah, it's sad. And right there, you see Skier with the little tear because Skier knows he's the one that did this. So
it's like a little tear. Look at that.
Yeah. I don't think we elaborate on it too much, except for the title of this issue, that weird name they called it.
Balm of the.
Yeah, they kind of lean towards that a little bit. The Balm of Illumination, or whatever they called it. I forgot what they called it. But they don't lean on it too much. And I thought that he was going to have like, it's my fault. He doesn't really. In fact, it's actually Keeve who does that a lot. So.
Right. And here's that pyre that we saw on the cover, which was for Gunral Monshi, R.I.P. Gunral. Yeah, poor Monchi, Gunral.
This is where Tay's like poking the bear right here. He's just talking. He's ignoring him.
Which is typical Tay. Yeah. You've seen phase 1 and read all about him.
Well, he likes big teddy bears, so he's not afraid of them.
No, he likes the big guys, that's for sure.
Yeah. He's just poking away, and then
notice why do they have to show Skier so chesty in this episode, this image here? It's like, is this the way that Tay is seeing him?
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed that before. I'm like, hey, they bulked him up. He's very fatty right now.
Well, he doesn't have that pause moment where he stares at him unless you consider this next one.
No, I mean, trust me, Skier is Tay's type.
Yeah. Well, I think
look at how big his feet are.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
So then Tay says hello down there to the little girl.
And he's not happy. Like once she starts poking around that.
Yeah. He's very protective. But he just wants to bandage his arm because he's been injured.
No, he's doing the thing right there. The ceremony. What's it called? We were just talking about.
Oh, that's right. God,
I can't remember the title of this issue. It's never on the front of the cover. Got to open it. It's called the Balm of Luminous. So
right, the Balm of the Luminous.
You take the wrappings of the dead. I think he calls it something else. Maybe the bandages of the dead, and you wrap it around yourself, and you say kind of, I don't want to say a prayer, but it's like a prayer. He says a little chant. And Skier even knows of this. Skier's like, he like finishes the sentence.
Yeah, it's right here. It says, I was taught by someone I loved, and we know that that's Vildar Mac. It's called the Balm, and then he says the Luminous. Heard of them, huh? That'll be helpful. And so then he says you recite the words as you wrap the gauze around yourself.
Gauze, yeah.
Yeah, binding yourself in the light. We call upon the three, light, dark, and balance true. One is no greater than the others. Together they unite, restore, center, and renew. We walk into the light, acknowledge the dark, and find balance in ourselves because the force is strong. Yes, Big Eye, that's it. Because the force is strong. Look at them, Trek, and he's seeing them.
But that's right there is where she starts getting, I should be the one helping him, yeah. And then she's blaming herself. So those are the two ones. Oh, no, that's Surek. Surek's the one that's not gone nuts yet. It's Turek that has.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah. So she's definitely struggling with her, which is maybe part of the reason why she's on the cover covered in fire. She's struggling with her emotions.
Maybe they're bubbling up inside her, too.
I actually thought this was the end of the issue. And then I found out we had all this other stuff. I was like, oh, this is the end. And I was like, oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
Nope. There's more.
Yeah.
There's more. There's a Nameless coming out of the ground like Night of the Living Dead. She goes, that's not possible. They just buried him and he came back out.
As soon as I saw them, I knew what it was. At first, I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Because she saw them all like ossified, which is what the Nameless does when he feeds on them.
Yeah, but they were falsified, and she's not. Yeah.
She's not a Jedi.
Not even Skier. Not even Skier, and I'm not even sure Tay would have been. Yeah.
But Skier still has the Force, and so does
Tay. But it doesn't affect them nearly as much, because that's why Skier is able to fight them off.
Right.
But the whole thing apparently was our little girl was being captured, so that was her way. It was like calling for help, projecting a nightmare. Yeah, and that character is frightening. Holy crap! When I saw that face, like, dear God, that scary looking character. Yeah,
that's that new character that was listed. I couldn't find. Let me see. It was what's her name? Her name is Hatar. Hatar is very.
And he knew about it. He says it right there. Is it Hatar? Like, he knew.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. Yeah. And he's using the gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
And Lorna tells her, don't. She tries to stop him.
Well, I thought Laura was trying to stop him because it's really hard to lay electricity. So she's like, you're going to hit the child. I thought it was like to save the child. But apparently it wasn't. It was to find out where they were going because she used the child as bait.
Yes.
Like, I thought she's just trying to protect him. But that's what she's.
Good old Lorna D.
Yeah.
But you know what? She's smart to do that, though.
Yeah.
So they're all following, trying to catch up to. And then Skier's just going nuts.
Because he's like, you let her go. Yeah. This reminds me of that episode of The Acolyte a few weeks back where Soul's going after Osha because he kidnapped Osha.
Mm-hmm. And then we get to look inside this lab, which looks like they have cloning facilities, right? And
oh, you think they're cloning Nameless?
It looks like it. They look like Nameless.
Well, there's like one all tortured and pieces on the table, so they are doing some kind of experiments on them.
Mm-hmm.
Then this little rat, they call it, his name is Reek.
Yeah. He's cute. And here's Bulin, the scientist, the mad scientist.
Yeah.
And Bulin, we know, of course, from the High Republic, his interactions with Gyrosaros' daughter, who's also a scientist.
Yeah, but he's more of a Frankenstein scientist, like sort of, yeah, biological stuff with the Force. Yeah, but he's definitely does it for Nihil. He doesn't really do it for his own game. I mean, he even says for the Nihil. So definitely on their side.
We have here this image for issue number 8, where he's doing experiments on the Nihil. I mean, on the Nameless. So something's up.
Well, I know they control him with the rod of winter. I forgot the name.
Seasons. The Rod of
Rod of
Seasons.
Seasons. So I'm thinking maybe they're trying to find an alternate way to control them. So you don't always have to have that rod there. So you can take maybe a Nimbus with each group of Storm.
So not only one person has to do it, right? Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what they're trying to do. They haven't really said it yet, but they might say in this next issue. All right. What are your final thoughts, Mike?
Final thoughts. I really enjoy this. I think that the comics are doing really well in terms of like Star Wars property right now. The High Republic comics are one of my favorites because they're not too long, they're short, they're quick, and they're right to the point, and they have really good stories and really good characters.
I actually agree at 100%. The Star Wars comics are doing really good right now. I don't really have cringy moments with the comics, and I do a lot of times with the writing of the shows. Even though that season finale for Acolyte we posted a few days ago was fantastic. I just mind blown. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch our after show on it. I think you, me, and Bryce were there, if I remember. We were all there. But yeah, I like this issue too. I like seeing Skier unhinged but focused. Like he's going everything for one goal, which is instead of just going nuts and killing everything. Now he's like, I have to protect this. So I like that for more Skier, and we're definitely seeing Tarek and Kieves messing with emotions a little bit. He's needing a little dark side stuff, so we'll see where that goes. And we're seeing a little more compassion. I mean, Laura Dean she's a very interesting character.
She is.
There's only one or two villains that has been all the way through. Her and the Markion. And he's tried to kill her several times, and she's not even part of it, but they've really kept her along. And all the other they call it Tempest Runners, they go through Tempest Runners like I go through employees. It's just quick. So Tempest Runners, they really kept her around, and they really put a lot of that character, which is fine. I like her character.
She's no longer a Tempest Runner, though.
She's not bad. I'm just saying, like, out of all the Tempest Runners, they've all died off fairly quickly. And so it's really cool. But if you haven't listened to her audiobook, it's a real audio drama, right?
It's really good.
It's a really good audio drama, too. It gives a lot about her past, where she came from, and all that. So.
And it will give you a lot of understanding of where she came from and how she's not truly a villain. I mean, she's just been dealt a bad hand. So she's making the best with what she has.
So I hope she gets a redemption arc. That would be really nice. I mean, this is kind of showing she might have a redemption arc.
You know what? She might have the opposite path of what's happening to Keeve, because we know Keeve is going to go to the dark side. Maybe Lorna goes to the light side.
Yeah, maybe at the end you see Lorna saving the child or something.
That would be really satisfying. Not going to lie.
Not going to lie either. All right, I want to give this one 3.5. I like seeing Skier. I like seeing Laura D. So 3.5.
I give it 3.5. I agree with John.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Let's pay the bills one more time.
Check out Hyperspace Props for all your cosplaying and Sabak needs. Use code BUNTA for 10% off your order at www.hyperspaceprops.com. Hyperspace Props is the title sponsor for Bunta Eve Special Edition. And if you're in town in Anaheim or Hollywood or San Francisco, check us out for one of those events.
End of the month. I think, yeah.
End of this month.
All right, let me switch banners. Make sure you're following
us on YouTube at Virtual Cantina Network, on Instagram at Virtual.Cantina Network, on X, Twitter at Cantina Virtual, on Threads, Virtual.Cantina Network, on Hive at Virtual Cantina, and on TikTok at Virtual Cantina! And like the VCN Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025 Facebook page, which is the mothership of all our shows and all our programs. And shout out to our two partners, Star Wars Book Nerds and Star Wars Comic Book Club. And
please like, subscribe, and please comment. We love your comments. We love to have a conversation with you. Helps us think. I mean, you always want more points of views. That's the only way you're going to evolve. You don't always just want to have one point. So it's good to have more points of views. Yeah. Shout out to Bryce. We miss you. And may the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.